city doesn't have enough resources to be able to train 1,000 officers to do every single thing that we need to be able to do. So one of the ways that we handle that is we have a specialized team.
Go! Go!
We have a team of 15 members that are specially trained in particular things above and beyond what we get at the basic academy as law enforcement officers. So we got a couple of us over here, we got a couple of us over here, and we're waiting. To be able to handle those things. And a lot of it comes down to resources and funding. It's not, we realize it's not a bottomless pit of money and resources. And this is the way the city and our department has tried to formulate an answer for that problem, and it works well.
Meet the Critical Incident Response Team, or CIRT for short. Highly trained and prepared for a wide variety of situations, CIRT provides the public with another layer of protection and service above and beyond standard police patrol.
We have responded to a number of situations over the past years, to include hostage situations, barricaded persons, armed barricaded persons. We've trained on, and probably our bread and butter is felony arrest warrants, felony search warrants.
Police department, search warrant! Police department, search warrant! Search warrant! Search warrant, please!
To include assisting the narcotics unit with serving search warrants for houses, or on houses, for contraband and drugs and property.
Display your weapon. Let's see what you got.
Although the uniforms may look the same, CIRT has evolved from its origins as the Ada Police Department SWAT team. Some of the duties have remained the same, but many new ones have been added.
The acronym SWAT is Special Weapons and Tactics, and over the last few years we've just become more responsive to things other than just kicking in doors. Our acronym Critical Incident Response Team allows us to serve in a wider capacity. We've responded to things such as tornadoes, the tornado victims in the Oklahoma City area a few years ago, the flood victims. We've been called out to help things of that nature, simply because we're a group and we've had some extra specialized training, not because we're necessarily better than any other law enforcement officer, but the extra training we get has a lot to do with it.
Police work in general can be dangerous, but much of the work that CIRT does involves an even higher danger level.
Police department! Police department! Police department! Police department! Police department! Make your name!
We've been called out on a number of times with barricaded people with weapons, or crimes that have just taken place where a victim has been either hurt or ultimately killed using weapons.
Please!
Most definitely we run across situations that we wouldn't consider extremely dangerous, but a fair amount of what we do is we have to consider it extremely dangerous. If we don't, we open ourselves up for all kinds of bad things to happen.
CIRT is a volunteer organization within the Ada Police Department. Potential members must demonstrate a willingness to participate, as well as the abilities to perform in high-stress situations. On the flip side, CIRT has to have enough members to respond to any situation at any given time.
One of our minimum requirements is you have to be a police officer for at least a year. And to become a member, you have to have a current member sponsor you and willing to say, yes, we want him or her to become a member. Once you have a current member that's willing to sponsor you, if we have an open position on the team, we'll put you on a probationary period for 6 months. And at the end of that 6 months, the team commander will evaluate your performance and your willingness to be involved and make the decision whether or not you become a member. Our members are members of day shift patrol division, afternoon, evening shift patrol division, midnight shift patrol division, and detective division. And that creates problems just because of we're not all in the same division or all on the same shift. When we train, we have 15 members. We may only have 10 or 12 members at any particular training because we have to have other members that are actually on duty. And that doesn't even get into who all's on vacation or whatnot. If we have people on duty, our primary responsibility is keeping the streets of Ada safe and respond to the citizens' needs. And this is definitely above and beyond that. So our team has to be large enough to be able to handle that one issue.
CERT members train continually to keep themselves sharp and ready to respond to any kind of incident. Training is key not only to success, but possibly even survival.
The shoot targets have a black cardboard gun that's taped to the target.
In the past years when we were a SWAT team, we were only really allowed to train once a month, and that was really behind the curve as far as the national standard. We train 2 days a month now, and we'll train on everything from rapid deployment, going into a structure, a house, a business, a school. We've trained on everything from active shooters to barricaded persons to hostage situations to, of course, drug lab interdictions to search warrant services, just really a whole variety of things. We have trained with other agencies in the past, and we don't get to do that as often as we'd like, but we'll continue to do that. No matter what, we don't want to get stagnant. We always want to be open-minded to different tactics, but we want to be able to at least learn from what we don't do from other people and decide whether or not we want to incorporate that into what we do, into how we train and how we respond.
While the City of Ada remains CERT's primary area of responsibility, when called upon, it can respond to emergency situations beyond city limits.
We are actually, I believe all of our members now are cross-deputized with the county. Sheriff Peterson's been gracious enough to at least say there may be times when we need your help, and vice versa. So we really have responded to a wide range of areas. It really can reach across the state if it's necessary, but it definitely has to be necessary.
Yes. When y'all get the one that's a no-shoot target, I want to hear get them on the ground. Do something with them. You're not going to do something with somebody that doesn't have a gun. Go through all the normal steps.
With terrorism and drug activity on the rise, CERT plays a more important role than ever in protecting the citizens of Ada.
12 years ago when I became a SWAT team member, when we would enter a house, things were pretty straightforward, it seemed like. The people that we deal with, the people that have labs in houses or that have committed crimes with weapons, have changed the way they operate.
We got a man in here! Get him out of here! Get him out of here! Go! 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 Happening! Are you dead? Jenny, go! Help! Go!
Drug abusers are very paranoid, and that paranoia has manifested in different ways. It's a continual learning process. We have to evaluate what we see or what we hear from other teams and change our training accordingly. Chemical threats have become a major issue now, where we didn't really consider that one of our most extreme dangers 10, 12 years ago, particularly before 9/11 or even more recently. And so now we have equipment to deal with that potential hazard. And we train with that equipment to deal with different chemical agents that can harm us or even our family if we were to take it home to them. But if we were to have something, such a huge catastrophic event that we would be limited only by our numbers, we would certainly not be able to handle that, just purely because we're only 15 members, and there are things, as we're well aware of in our society, that's happened over the last decade. It takes hundreds of people to come in and contain. And I can imagine those things, we'd have to ask for help, and we would, without hesitation.
Because of more sophisticated dangers and because safety is of paramount concern, CERT members make sure they are equipped with the gear necessary to do the job. These items, which include armor, weapons, munitions, and other safety devices, do not come cheap, and expenses can pile up quickly.
These are airsoft guns. They shoot 6mm BBs, and they are equipment we use to train with instead of training with actual real weapons. It's a safety issue.
Force on force training is having an opponent shooting back at you like a real life situation. Safety issues, these are a lot safer than simunitions. They don't make a mess. And unlike paintball guns, these are the exact same size, shape, and function as our real weapons.
Because of the different things that we deal with now, we've had to spend our resources on equipment that deals with very specific things. I mean, our powered air purifying respirators, that's called PAPRs. Those things are very expensive, and sometimes we can get stuff like that on grants, sometimes we can't. I think we have 10 of those right now on our 15-man team, so not everybody has one. But those things are, I think they're up to about $1,000 a piece. And, you know, we realize the city's pockets are not just that deep. There is an end to it. There is an end to our resources, and we have to work within those confines. We work with what we have. And that's one of the reasons we train with what we have is to get familiar with it. And we definitely are a long ways from where we were 10, 12 years ago.
Some of CERT's equipment is obtained through government channels at reduced costs. And although much of it has been previously used, it can make all the difference in the world to the team.
We've been able to get a bus. It's a demilitarized or decommissioned, I believe it came from the Air Force, and we've been able to reconfigure the inside of that to hold our equipment and to be able to deploy from that, and that's really helped. It's really helped because we were always kind of handcuffed with how are we going to get to where we're going. We've used a little bitty small vans, and we've used some ambulances, converted ambulances in the past, and we're really, when you try to stuff 10 or 15 people into a small vehicle like that, it's tough, very, very tough. And right now we've got probably the best deployment vehicle we've had since I've been a member.
Recognizing the valuable service that CERT provides, the City of Ada and members of the community have stepped forward to help meet its financial needs.
Recently we've gotten about $10,000 worth of donations for our CERT to help us equip the new body armor that the city's purchased us. Considerably more ballistic protection than what we would wear with our regular duty uniform. That equipment is very expensive, and before our members have really been spent a lot of money out of our own pocket trying to equip ourselves with equipment and safety features. Individuals and businesses have really come forth in the last several months and said, hey, we want to help you. What can we do? And it's really helped a lot.
Y'all ready? 10 seconds!
CERT members do what they do because they are citizens as well.
Ready, go!
They have stepped forward to protect their neighbors because, like those neighbors, they have lives and loved ones to support and enjoy.
We're guys, we all have families. We all want to go home at the end of the day. We're not machines. We're not robots. We get tired, and we're limited by what we can do as human beings. The members of the CERT are just our regular people.